How long have you been in Nassau County?
Since October 2006, I believe.
And what do you currently do? What's your employment?
I'm looking for a job.
Okay.
But I have some ownership in a couple companies.
Okay.
Multiple.
And Parker Construction, is that still one?
Yes, sir. That's where I receive a salary from.
And what do you do at Parker?
I kind of try and find some synergies between the staff and, identify some issues and try and forecast some inefficiencies.
Do you have a title?
I think I'm vice president,
Okay.
technically. I don't really care about the title.
Right, fair enough.
I don't use it.
Do you swing a hammer or do anything?
If I need to.
Okay.
Mostly, lately it seems like I've been maybe driving some machinery.
Okay.
Mr. Deady, you're doing a fantastic job of answering Mr. Phillips' questions. If you could, and I know you're anticipating some of his questions, just give a half second between when he asks it and when you answer, because John, not so much, but you speak a little bit quickly, and that makes her job tough. And we want to make sure she gets down everything that both Mr. Phillips says and everything that you say.
And that's a piece of my speech I didn't give. It's easy, particularly with people who are similar in age and know each other, to get into a normal conversation where we cut each other off and I anticipate what you say and you anticipate what I say and we have a short-circuited conversation. This isn't that.
Yep, that's a problem I have.
And we'll work through it exactly like we have. Okay, so...
I haven't swung a hammer in a while.
Okay, fair enough. Who owns Parker Construction?
Dylan is the president. He has 51%.
Do you have 49%?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then there's some bar or restaurant ownership that you have?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that, please.
We have a company called New Synergies, and that owns 80% of profitable bar management, which is the bars.
And what's still in that? Locals?
Locals and Sadler Ranch, sir.
Okay.
The liquor license as an asset, I believe, as well.
Okay. And you're still invested in those?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I do similar stuff there.
Okay.
I don't make drinks.
Fair enough. Marital status is single?
Working on
Dating,
that.
yeah.
Single, right? I've been with the same woman for a long time. Definitely planning on getting married, having kids here pretty soon.
Is that Mac or Kay? Mac?
Olivia McKay Lohman.
Yeah. Do they call her Mac?
Some people call her Mac. I like to call her Olivia.
Okay.
Sometimes it goes back and forth.
Okay. No children?
No children.
For purposes of today, not back, when this happened or anything, for purposes of today, are you under any medical or I guess non-medical drug or alcohol or condition that would affect your memory
No, sir.
or your ability to testify?
Yes, sir. I'm able to testify.
Okay, fair. I guess the first place to start is figuring out the Jeep situation. What is the white Jeep that you own or owned?
What is it?
Tell me about when did you get the white Jeep that you own or own?
I bought that Jeep, man, it must have been 3 years ago as a guess. I bought it before the holidays. I remember going up to Michigan in it recently after I bought it. I bought it with Parker, money. We each have car allowance through there, and that's how I ended up getting the Jeep.
Okay.
I was trying to build some credit, so I think it's maybe in both mine and Parker's name, I believe.
2017 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sahara?
Yep, it was Smoky Mountain, I believe. I don't know if it's a Sahara. I think it's got the Sahara package.
Where did you buy it from? Yeah.
Did you say Cherokee?
Jeep, hopefully I read it right. 2017 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sahara is what it says.
That's how I think that's accurate.
Okay.
And I got it from Rick Keffer. I think it was Rick Keffer at the time, not Davis.
That's a dealer?
Yes, sir,
think
right
I'm-
off the island.
Okay, I think I remember seeing the sticker on there. Okay. And when we talk about the date of loss, it's just the date that my client was run over by somebody on April 24, 2019. So I'll come back to that date when we need to, but that's the date I'm referring to. Did you own the white Jeep on April 24, 2019?
I believe it may still have been in my name. I bought the gray Jeep approximately 10 days before that from Kip Usher. Usher.
Can you give her a spelling, please?
K-I-P,
Usher.
Usher.
U-S-H-E-R.
Yep. He had been trying to sell me the Jeep for a while, and I just didn't think I could afford it. And then he made a deal that I couldn't pass up while me and my mother were both there, and that's kind of how it happened. I said, I can get this gray one and pay less than I pay right now. And my mom is very active at Parker, and she could take the white one, and Parker would still pay for that. She wouldn't have a car, So it seemed like I couldn't pass it up.
Okay. What's your mom's name?
Amy Rose Kellogg.
Okay, so Mrs. Kellogg is your mom.
Yes, ma'am.
And
yes, sir.
It's fine. In Discovery, it
That's
refers
how I
to
talked to her yesterday.
It's fair. You should. In Discovery, it refers to Mrs. Kellogg, and I saw the MRS, but it didn't give context. So that's your mom.
Yes.
Did you have a financial transaction with your mom where she bought the white Jeep?
No, she made the lesser gray Jeep payment and took the white Jeep, which was a higher payment, which I was paying out of the company.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a win-win-win.
Yeah.
From where we were at.
It's fair. And this is obviously a big point to resolving some of the questions I have. And drilling down on this as much as possible. So approximately 10 days before April 24, 2019, you bought the gray Jeep.
Yes, sir.
Is that the one you drove today?
Yes,
I think
sir.
I saw it. And when did you give the keys to the white Jeep to your mom?
That day, I drove the gray Jeep home.
Okay. And that was a private transaction, meaning not a dealer, it was a person-to-person sale?
Yes, sir.
Did you?
He held the financing for, I think, almost maybe a year. I've got it refinanced through ViStar.
Okay.
And again,
So, yep.
just let him finish his question. He may have been going in a different direction.
Okay.
I was going in that direction.
And all that does is it lengthens this out. And
Yep. I don't want to do that. I got a busy day.
Right.
That's where I was going. But your lawyer's right. But that's the financial transaction. So Kip Usher said, hey, let's work out a deal. And you paid him.
I think I gave him $500
Okay.
down right there on the spot, and he handed me the keys, and I drove it home.
Okay. And then you agreed to pay him monthly payments?
$500 a month with
What-
no interest.
Was there, it's great. Was there a bill of sale?
No,
Was there any paperwork?
no.
Did you sign the title and turn it into the state?
Yes, sir. He handed me a clean title.
Okay. When did you go get it registered?
Now, I don't know if I'm overspeaking here, but I believe I drove it home from his house maybe on a Friday. I believe that my mother called and I got it insured maybe on a Friday. I have to check the dates on this. I know we've looked at it, but I believe then I got it registered on the Monday. So
And
I drove it for a weekend with it under his insurance and plate.
my goal is to get to the bottom of this, and
Yep,
we're
I
going to get
understand
into what's been said about you, but this is excruciatingly important to prove that you had this Jeep before the incident.
Yeah, I know I did.
And so any documents of insurance or getting insurance, any title paperwork, that stuff we're going to request and hopefully you can find.
I think I've given it to my lawyer.
Okay.
We have it.
Okay. It's not stuff you gave us, but we can figure that out.
Yeah, I thought Stephanie had given it to you.
Did she? We can get
Absolutely, because I think I gave it to you 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah.
there. Okay. And the question is whether I asked.
And I guess I don't know if I'm backtracking, but the same day that I was insured for the gray Jeep, she was added to the insurance on the white one.
Okay.
I think that was one phone call probably.
Okay. Have you driven the white Jeep since?
Yes, sir. Very rarely.
I guess, and this is kind of how normal people speak, not necessarily legal questions, but does your mother consider it her car? Does she use it as her car?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have to ask permission.
Okay. But there's been no title paperwork to deed it over to her, so.
She will once it's paid for.
Okay.
So once Parker's paid for it, she will get the title for it.
Does she work for or with Parker?
Yeah, she's probably the boss under Dylan.
Okay.
She runs the office. She kind of does my job.
The time you were pulled over in that Jeep and arrested and cleared, you remember that time?
Yes.
Was that before this incident or after?
I don't recall,
Okay.
but I'm sure there's documentation.
Yeah, there's dates. Have you in any way since April 24, 2019, changed the tires on the white Jeep?
I believe they got changed a month ago, maybe within the last 60 days on the white Jeep. I didn't have anything to do with it. I believe my mom coordinated, I just want to say Tire Kingdom, and I think Parker paid for it.
Okay. Same question for the rims. Since April 24, 2019.
The rims have not been changed, sir.
Okay, fair enough. Same thing for the gray Jeep. Are the rims that exist on the gray Jeep the ones that kept
Yes,
the
sir, and I
warranty?
haven't changed the tires.
Okay, tires too.
I need new tires.
Okay. Would your mother have any reason, I guess, is there a person named Dave or somebody that works at Parker or worked at Parker?
Yes, David Raines.
David Raines. What did he do for Parker?
He runs a cabinet shop.
Does he still?
He was pretty much lead for trim work, all things kind of extravagant. He's the best carpenter that I think I've ever met.
Okay. Good to know. Does he still work there?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever, did you grant him permission to drive the vehicle?
No, sir.
Okay. Who back before you sold it to your mom or during this period of, spring of 2019, March, April, May, June of 2019.
When was that date?
April 24, 2019 is the date of the incident. So give me 3 months before and 3 months after. So the early half of 2019.
I can't.
Well, let me ask the question first. Who had permission to drive the white vehicle, the white Jeep?
I believe probably just mostly me. Sure, I guess after 3 months after, I doubt I drove it at all because I was really excited about the new Jeep.
Mr. Deady, his question was who had permission?
Nobody.
3 months before. Understood.
Yeah.
But that was his
Sorry.
question.
No, I don't think anybody had.
Did Mac ever drive it?
Maybe rarely.
Okay.
She drives a Maserati
Okay.
at that time. So, and she had a Jetta. I don't know if that was before. This is a long time ago, so I can't
get it.
recall.
That's fair. But did David Raines have permission to drive the Jeep?
No.
And we're talking before the incident?
Neither. Before or after.
At any point has David Raines had your permission to drive your Jeep?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you know if Ms. Kellogg ever gave David Raines permission to drive the Jeep?
I doubt it. Dave doesn't have a license.
Okay. Well, that explains that.
Hasn't had a license in 15 years.
Then let me broaden it. Anybody in Dave Raines' family, would they have had permission to drive the white Jeep in 2019 that you're aware of?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you know why the Jeep was parked in David Raines' garage in 2019?
I don't believe it was.
Okay. Do you know if the Jeep has ever been at David Raines' house?
Does Dave have a house? Where are we talking about?
I'm talking about...
Dave doesn't own a house. As far as I know, I believe he's been renting. He had a couple different spots. I don't
Correct.
know when he moved.
My understanding is during 2019, he lived at 1312 or so Ridge Court. Do you know where that is?
Is that Christmas Tree Lane?
That's Ridge Court is the name of the street.
I think he still lives there.
Okay. And the Jeep's been over there. And what I'm trying to understand is kind of under what context it would be over there or be in his garage.
I can't recall.
Okay.
I don't remember it ever being in there. I can't recall why.
This is the what's your beef with portion of the deposition.
Yep.
And it may be their beef with you or what's going on.
Okay.
But who is Yvette Flexion? IVETFLEXON.
Okay. Yvette is, I believe, she's somebody that we had a lawsuit with on some construction issues, and that's been resolved.
Okay, so I'm going to caution you. I don't know the terms of any settlement agreement that may have been entered into. So
There was
Resolved
no-
is as far as I care about.
There was no settlement. We
Okay.
won the
Okay.
case. We didn't.
okay,
Okay.
fair enough.
Construction, she was a,
She complained about some construction defects and was upset, and we weren't in the wrong.
okay, good.
There was no defects.
Okay. It's my understanding her
Kids
son
live next door.
lived next door to Dave. That's true?
Yes.
Okay. And
I don't know him.
you don't know her son?
I know one of her sons. He used to work for us, and it didn't work out. He
Okay.
got fired during the process of that job. I think that's what really kicked off that.
Okay. And,
He seems like a nice kid, the one that lives there now.
okay. It's my understanding, and we've got to take depositions and do stuff, but it's my understanding that,
Excuse me. Actually, Dylan wanted to be present. He said he was running a little late. He just texted me. Can I look at it?
yeah, for sure.
Tell him maybe we're here. Just got out of a meeting. Should be there around 10:40. He'll be here in like 30
Okay,
minutes.
Totally fine. There's a
enough.
party, you can be here.
I don't need a break.
No, let's push for a second. So, Yvette Flexen, do you know how to pronounce the name?
I called her Yvette.
Yvette? Okay.
I think it's Eve. I don't even know how to spell it.
Fair enough. So she has a son, lives next to Dave, and my understanding is they're going to come to court and say the Jeep was hidden in that garage twice, or placed in that garage, that Dave's garage twice. Once, sometime after Amanda was run over, and another time after we filed our lawsuit.
Okay.
Do you know anything about that?
No, sir.
Okay. You would dispute that?
I would dispute that.
Okay. And they have pictures of the window of the garage being covered with paper the second time. Do you know anything about that?
I know Dave sprays paint in there and lacquer making countertops. That garage couldn't fit a car in there. He used to have an Infiniti in there, and he took that out. It's been a cabinet shop.
Okay.
He's got tools, and I believe the whole thing is coated inside there. I would never park a car in there if you wanted to see it again.
Makes sense.
And I also know that Yvette, I don't want to overspeak, but I think that a lot of her issues with that construction had to do with Dave and her cabinet coordination. It felt like I went to court over some cabinets that Dave built, and she was complaining about them, but there was nothing. They met specs. So there might be something there.
And that's what we're going to spend a lot of time on today, is figuring out what is pure speculation or revenge. What's true?
Since you said her name, I didn't even think that they would kind of send some shivers up my spine. I'm surprised that I'm still hearing that name. When I think about it, it's a lot of irony that David and her live next door. I believe she owns that house next door.
I think that's true. That's what she's told me, at least. I told Amanda, or one of us. Okay. So I've got two pictures we'll attach as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you understand to be, I guess, the house Dave is renting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that the white Jeep that you owned?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I believe it appears to be.
Right. Do you know whether, or under what context it was there, why it was there?
No, sir.
We also don't have the date. I got to get the date on these.
Well, I see that car in front of it is his girlfriend's car or ex-girlfriend's car. So you may be able to find a date based off that.
Okay.
If you were to talk with him. I don't think he's with her anymore. I'm pretty sure she was bad news.
Okay. And there's a person in the Parker construction van, it looks to me.
I don't drive the vans.
Okay, but do you know do you see the Parker construction van with Parker Contracting on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you know who that is? Can you tell?
I don't know. We do have some females. It appears kind of be a female. I know my mom doesn't drive that. We don't drive. The girls in the office don't drive it. I do have a female painter in the field, and that's I think a Lord painting van in front, which is probably Corey French. Used to work for Bill Lord. So I'm guessing that is the girl that does the painting, and I'm kind of embarrassed I can't remember her name.
That's okay. She works for Parker?
Yes, sir.
Still?
I believe so.
And I think I have the same picture as you. There's a man in the one with the windows uncovered? Do you know who that is?
This guy?
Yeah.
That looks like Dave Raines from here.
Okay, so Dave Raines, Raines.
Yep, yep. Dave Raines. It's kind of, I can't be confident. I'm 90% sure that
That's
is
fair.
Dave.
Anytime you guess, let me know you're guessing. And do you know, so you can see in the two pictures, one has the windows covered and one doesn't. Do you know why he does that?
Other than spraying paint, not wanting them to get on the glass.
Okay.
But I thought the windows were sprayed white. I think it is paint spray white.
Okay. That happened sometime between these two pictures.
Yeah, it's probably cabinet lacquer.
Okay. Have you ever, and you're not going to like some of my questions.
That's all right. You can come at me.
Have you ever had a conversation with Dave Raines about hiding your Jeep?
Never.
Okay. Have you ever had any conversation with anybody in the Raines household about hiding the Jeep in his garage?
No, sir.
Okay. And Dave Raines would tell me the same thing because...
Absolutely. I mean, generally, I've never hid the Jeep.
Okay.
I didn't even honestly know about this accident. I didn't even hear about it until I got served, which was months later, and that's when I YouTube videos on you. Everything I really know is YouTube, your videos. I hope you find the guy.
Yeah, thank you. We do too. Or gal. But
Or two people, I think.
Correct. I think you said in that sentence, you've never generally hidden the Jeep. Have you ever hidden the Jeep?
No.
Okay. Is there anything besides this incident that comes to mind that you might have wanted the Jeep not seen for a while?
No, sir.
Okay. Because I think
Actually, I like that Jeep a lot.
Right.
There's some things about it that are nicer than my new one, hindsight, but no, never have hidden it.
Is one 4x4 and one 4x2?
No, I believe they're both
4x4.
4x4. The Rubicon has 2 additional buttons for locking the axle. I don't know what that actually means.
Okay. Because the way, and I talked to her this morning for the first time, the way Yvette explains the story is she had a lawsuit going on with you.
We had one, I think it went for about 5 years.
And that at some point her son calls her and says, is there any reason related to your lawsuit that Mr. Deady would be hiding the Jeep at Dave's house? And she said no. And then at some point in time, the Jeep is released back into society. And then after the lawsuit's filed, it's put back in. And again, this is her. We'll depose
Yeah, I hear her voice saying it.
Yeah.
Let him finish.
But that after the lawsuit was filed, the Jeep went back in and the windows were covered.
That's a lie.
Okay. Okay. The next set of kind of rumors about Eric are that you changed your appearance in April of 2019. I've seen the pictures with the long hair and the beard.
Yeah.
I've seen you now. People get haircuts. People shave their beard. I do. But why, I guess the question is, why did you change your appearance?
Well, my brother came into town, and I believe it was actually, I want to say March. He was down here with his wife for class, and he made a bet with me. He said that my Uncle Wes, who I did it's kind of a long story.
West Sheffield?
No, West Bus.
Okay.
My Uncle Wes raised me for a while when I was a child. I did a lot of concrete work for him, and I look up to him a lot. And he said, that if I had to pay $50 or cut my ponytail off, my brother had to bring it back, or you know, it was kind of, and my girlfriend didn't like it. And I started to get a lot of grays, and it was starting to look old. I didn't even know about the Jeep incident until months after my hair was cut. That's why I was really surprised that I was being accused of changing my identity. I've grown my hair out long and buzzed it multiple times. That's probably how I do it. I got my first haircut about a month ago in a barber shop that I used to go to like 15 years ago while I was in Michigan seeing my family for the holidays.
Okay.
So I think that's the first time I've actually gone somewhere. But my girlfriend just, you know, she didn't like it. And my brother and my Uncle Wes made some jokes about it, and I thought maybe it was time to go. I had nothing to do with this incident.
You said it was some
I think
kind
I look good both ways. You know, she
you look
prefers me
great.
like this. I kind of like the ponytail.
March, you said that was probably March of 2019?
I believe so. Or I don't know, 29. You know, my brother comes down. He's a ship captain, and he takes classes down here. He usually comes down once a year. I believe it's in March, maybe even February.
Okay. And I guess it's kind of like the insurance thing. The easy way, it's easy to prove a positive. So do you know if you have any photos, selfies, anything dating before April 24th, 2019, where you have short hair?
I don't recall. I mean, that's probably 4 or 5 phones ago.
Okay. Do you save your phones? How do you transfer?
Some of
your
them are
phones?
saved. Some of them, you know, I don't know. I know I've got some old cell phones laying around the house. I know I don't hold them for a record, you know.
Okay.
Usually they get given away if somebody else needs one.
Do you know if you have the cell phone you would have owned April 24, 2019?
No, sir, I don't know.
Okay. Can you
I know I wouldn't have thrown anything out since I got summons, because
Right.
you know, I've been holding on to everything since then.
If you could save those or give them to Trevor, or just
I
make
believe
sure.
I probably did give.
Okay.
We'll see.
Just so it's clear, you'd like some photos of Mr. Deady prior to April 24, 2019, that you could verify with the date on it where he has short hair?
Correct.
Okay.
I
So
can
we
look
can
for that.
we can look for that and produce
And
photos to you.
and that we get into the request for production and banking records and transactions, and you know, ultimately it's going to come down to GPS data. Anything that could show that he was in Jacksonville at a Wendy's. You know, I just need more alibi evidence potentially, and we're about to get into the what people are saying about you.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know a guy named James Simmons?
No.
Okay. Nobody knows phone numbers anymore, but short of looking it up in your phone, do you know if you know somebody with the number?
No, sir.
Okay. After this went on the news with this white Jeep ran over this lady, we got a call from that number. And multiple people with my office spoke to him, a guy, I spoke to him. He did not indicate his name. This is the best we can figure out.
What was that number again? I'm usually pretty good with numbers, but I don't recall.
Do you want to enter it
that.
in your phone and see if a name comes
I
up?
can do that.
No.
I don't have it.
Obviously, this was a phone call, so I don't have paperwork. But he said to me that this person on the phone said he has heard you, Eric Deady, it's the first time I heard your name, bragging about the run over. He heard you making statements that you got rid of a white Jeep. He heard you were intoxicated on ecstasy or nitrous. He told somebody else it was whippets during the run over. that you were arrested for cocaine trafficking and lives on Tarpon Road, which is untrue. You weren't arrested for trafficking. That you own bars in the area, one called Locals, and a construction company called Parker Construction. And he stated others have been witness to Eric Deady's claim of running over the victim while intoxicated as well. Do you know who would have said those things about you?
No, sir, and I believe it to be inaccurate.
Okay. You believe it to be inaccurate, or you know it to be inaccurate?
I know it to be inaccurate.
Okay. Do you know a person named Leland Kent?
Yes, sir.
Who is Leland Kent?
He is an old friend of mine.
Okay. Leland.
I mean, I'd still be his friend.
Okay. Well, maybe not soon. Leland Kent messaged me that you cut your hair off, that you've been growing out for years to try and alter your appearance after he ran over your victim. He cut off his ponytail himself at home. His girlfriend was with him, or possibly the one driving. She also has long, light brown hair like Eric. Her name is Olivia McKay Lohman.
Okay.
Do you know why your good friend Leland Kent would say that?
Because I messed around with his girlfriend the first time I met her. I didn't know she was married, and my girlfriend sent him an email confessing that, because my girlfriend knew about it. And last time I seen them, I don't know if it's the last time I saw them. I'm pretty sure it's the last time I seen them. We were at the Ritz-Carlton day drinking, and I was with a girl, and it almost seemed like his wife was kind of getting jealous. Me and her are actually still really good friends, and me and him got into an altercation. I believe he got arrested that day and removed from the property, and I slept there that night. I don't know if I've seen him since.
This is somebody you just told me he was a good friend, though.
We used to be really good friends. What happened is I met. I mean, am I allowed? Can I say how I met her, or in detail, or should I wait for him to ask?
Have him ask the question, and just remember to focus on what his question is, because
is the ball in my court or his?
Both.
Yeah, it kind of is both. But just look, he knows how to ask the questions that he wants to get to. So answer the questions that he's asking.
Did I overspeak there, or did I underspeak?
No, you answered his question.
Okay.
It's entirely...
Mr. Deady, I don't know what I don't know.
I wish we were friends still,
Yeah.
and I think that, that mistake I made a long time ago, I mean, it was the first time I met her, and she was with another mutual friend, and I kind of messed around with both those girls, and then I didn't even know she was married or even know him at the time, and we all became really good friends, and my girlfriend told him a long time after the fact. I bet that's why he's real upset.
How long ago did that happen?
I don't recall.
Okay. Years ago?
Which did what happen?
The messing around with his
That
girlfriend and
happened,
wife.
that must have been at least 5 years ago, I would say, and I think that he probably found out about it. I think there's an email, I'm pretty sure. I think my girlfriend emailed him directly and said, hey, just so you know.
Is this going to be two?
Yeah, two. Exhibit two photos. It's kind of weird handing you photos of yourself, but
Yeah, I know. I think I look good in both these.
you do. But is that how you looked?
This is how I
with the
looked
ponytail?
when my brother came here, because my brother had a big beard, and I was proving that to him. I believe that probably right after this, I was actually with my brother here. This is the date I was with my brother. He was in town for 3 days, around the 8th, and that's when I cut my hair.
So April 8th.
I was at this park with my brother and his wife, and that's when they told me I needed to cut and shave.
Okay.
I grew this beard out to impress him. It didn't work. His was bigger.
So that was April 8, approximately 2019. The incident happened April 24.
Yep,
the
so I
questions-
probably did on the Before the 11th. I don't think he was here more than 3 days.
Okay, so the question is, do you have photos between April 8 or 11 and April 24 showing you have?
I've given my lawyer everything from around the date.
Okay.
So again, well, do you want us to winnow that date down then?
Yeah, we'll probably send a follow-up discovery request. Do you have 2 Instagram accounts?
Yes, one's kind of was more business, and my girlfriend really didn't like it, so I kind of started one that's personal, so I
Okay.
can be myself instead of be a bar owner guy.
I can see one in one of them. One of them's private. Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So it may be.
Honestly, I don't really social media too much
Yeah.
anymore, because obviously it brought up, it doesn't make me look the best.
Yeah.
I don't know how to log into either of them. They're
Okay.
on my phone.
Okay. But my point is there could be something in there that I just can't see, but I don't know what I don't know. Okay. Do you know if Olivia McKay Lohman was driving the white Jeep on April 24, 2019?
She absolutely wasn't,
How do you know that?
because my mom had it at work. It was her vehicle, her only ride at that time.
Okay. Is there surveillance of the parking lot at
I had surveillance on all my properties, but we couldn't recover any of it by the time I was summoned. It was so far after the point.
Okay.
I believe we had a specialist in to even try and recover anything.
Okay. Who was that specialist?
I don't recall.
Did they charge you?
Yes,
Do you have a receipt?
probably,
Okay. Can you provide that?
maybe.
Okay.
If I got it, I will.
fair,
I didn't mean to say.
April.
Actually, you guys have it, I think. You guys might pay.
Sorry, watch your microphone.
Oh. Thanks.
What happens when your jacket lapel hits it? It makes a loud sound for him that none
Sorry,
of us
buddy.
can hear.
More awkward questioning. April 24, 2019. Were you under the influence of whippets, nitrous, or what was the other thing? Whippets or nitrous?
I don't recall.
Okay. On April 24, 2019, were you under the influence of ecstasy?
No.
Okay. Given you said you don't recall, is there a way to determine whether you were that day? Is there any record that we can look back on and see? Obviously, that's not something, I guess you could, I don't even know what whippets are. I mean, I kind of remember. What is, to your understanding, what is nitrous or whippets?
It's what the dentist gives you
Okay,
to soothe your teeth injuries.
okay. Do you do that recreationally?
I have.
Okay. How is that consumed? Is it just gas, like a dentist?
Yeah, similar.
Okay.
Except for a lot smaller dose than the dentist gives you.
Okay. Do you know what you did on April 24, 2019?
I don't recall that date.
Have you looked back at any of your bank statements or?
We've tried to. I know that. I mean, when we got your summons.
Yeah.
I've tried, So I think everything that we've got, we've given forward.
Okay. Do you know if you have phone log, if you've gone to, who's your provider?
AT&T.
Was it AT&T in 2019?
Yeah, it's been AT&T for 10 years probably, maybe even longer.
Do you know if you've pulled or provided your call logs from April 24, 2019?
I know we tried.
Okay. You weren't able to?
I don't recall.
Okay. How do you go out to lunch at Chili's or somewhere, probably more local than that, Hammerheads, whatever, or drinks, and are you a cash guy? Do you use check card? What combination do you?
Both.
Okay.
Whatever's convenient.
Okay.
And John, just for purposes of your question, that was back in 2019?
April of 2019, yeah, sorry.
Did you understand that?
Yeah. I don't think it's
was
changed.
that any
It
different?
hasn't changed. I don't drink a lot.
Fair. Was that any different, your financial spending methods, was that any different in April of 2019?
Cash is kind of fun because I never had any when I was young.
Yeah.
But both.
Okay. And we're going to provide what we have that's in paper. I know I have somewhere the message from Leland Kent because it was on Facebook. But somebody else at some point said that Mac, they called her Mac, was also big time into the drug stuff, especially huffing the air canisters and stuff like that. Is that a true or untrue statement?
Untrue.
Okay. Why?
Because I'm with Olivia all the time.
Okay.
She doesn't do it. We've both done a little bit of it.
In 2019, was she doing more than she is now?
She doesn't do any, and I don't know if she did any then.
Okay, fair.
And John, I don't know if I heard you. Did you say who it was said that about Ms. Lohman?
That one
That was probably Natasha or Leland, is my guess.
It wasn't Leland. Who's Natasha?
Leland's
Girlfriend?
wife.
Okay.
Her name's actually April.
Okay.
Her stage name's Natasha.
Does that mean she is a dancer?
Something like that.
Okay.
She's actually, remember, we were all really good friends, but I think that secret came out kind of.
That you slept with her?
I didn't sleep with her. I had a threesome with her and a friend. I slept with a friend.
Okay.
But we went her. It's a long story. I don't need on record right now. I don't.
Yeah, we don't. We're good there. And we can go off the record on some things, but that's not something we need to talk about. So, unfortunately, when I was getting ready for this, I did not. This is how I saved it, so I've got to go figure out who sent this or how I have it. It wasn't sent. I wasn't involved in this text messaging, but somebody sent this as a screen grab of text messaging. Welcome to the modern era. So there's I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to read it first. There's a conversation that starts, I haven't heard anything, haven't seen him around though. I heard he may be in trouble with his Jeep, and then a shrugging emoji. And it's a girl shrugging emoji, if that means anything. And then the response was, heard he is the one that ran over the girl on the beach. Crazy, exclamation point. I rode in that Jeep when Rob borrowed it. And then the response was, I've heard that, curious if it was him or his crazy girlfriend that did it. Okay.
And then just for a point of clarification, do we know where these came from?
They were sent to me. I've got to figure that out.
Okay. So this is are we going to make this an exhibit?
Yeah, that'll be exhibit 3.
That emoji, I think, is Natasha,
Okay.
because I think I've gotten that from her before. But I'm not familiar with these messages.
Okay.
And I don't believe Rob ever borrowed my Jeep either.
Who is Rob?
Probably Rob Ross.
Okay.
You know Rob Ross. Good friends with Wes.
Rob Ross, West Sheffield, I assume. Does Rob work for Wes?
He used to run the bars when I was doing the bars. We were actually competitors, but we're friends.
Right. The only time that I've come up and kind of hung out with that crew is at one of the golf tournaments. I generally stay in Duval.
I think you guys were all at a wedding or something.
Oh, was he at
Believe
Brittany and Elvis's wedding?
Yeah. We really got a lot of mutual friends, and
We do.
a lot of your mutual friends of mine are actually my competitors.
Right, and it makes it awkward.
So it kind of makes it awkward.
It
kinda
makes it real awkward because,
sound like I'm getting gunned for.
and that's. But what, and have I been fair so far?
I think so. I'm glad to
Okay.
get it over with.
Yeah, no, I
honestly,
understand.
Because I had to go on sleeping pills and anxiety, and finally feel like now that we can show up, I can go. Get my
Yeah,
life
and
back.
I got sick. There's been some stuff. So Rob, you think is?
I would guess that's Rob Ross
Okay.
that's being talked about, and I think that if you were to talk to him about me, it'd probably clear me too.
Okay.
Natasha sends those emojis. I know, just kind of looks like something I've gotten, an emoji, but I'm not in that conversation.
Correct. But it's not a comfortable conversation to read about yourself.
No, I mean, it doesn't bother me if people love to say stuff
And
about me.
I get it's a small island, so to speak. But two people we got to figure out who they are.
Rob and Natasha.
Rob and Natasha. Well, when he's referring to Rob as third person, so it's probably not
Well,
Rob.
maybe it's Leland and Natasha.
Okay.
Talking about Rob.
Okay. Okay. And that would give context to
Yep.
them being out after you.
Because all four of us even used to hang out a lot.
Would there have been any other trouble you were in with your Jeep?
No, sir. Forgot I had 3 enemies.
You have more than that. We all do.
Let me see if Dylan's close. Or I'll tell him how to get here.
Yeah, do you want to take a break?
Yeah, now would
Sure,
be-
he said he was going to be here 2 minutes ago, so I bet he'll probably
Let's
pull up
break. He'll come in. We can go from there.
If you get up, just make sure you take that mic off.
Yeah, you'll string it up.
We'll go off the record at 10:47. We're back on the record, 11:05.
As I suspect I'll be done in an hour or so. Kind of depends on questions and answers, but
Excellent.
just so you know that we're not going to be
Thank
here
you.
all day.
That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. You're making it easier. And so, we'll be out in time for a late lunch. But that's the good news. The bad news is to be fast. I'm gonna skip around a lot. Most people don't care, but
I don't care, boss.
so be it. So. When hey,
Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
come on in.
Come on in, pull up a chair, and you can grab a seat right here.
Sounds like maybe just around an hour, so.
Yeah. Okay. And you're not going today. You know that, don't you? Yes, sir. Yeah, just to make you not have to worry about that. Okay, so we'll pretend we just started. Edit all that out. When we talked in the first session, we talked about something that had been provided to us related to insurance. Underwritten. One thing that's confusing about this case is the two VIN numbers. One of them is 53 and one of them is 63. So I get confused about which one's which. But this was produced to us.
And are you going to mark this?
Yeah.
So 4.
Yes, please. And if you believe Carfax, I'll give you this. I'll give you this too, so that we can compare VIN numbers, right? So I'm going to attach, that was 4. So 5 will be plaintiff's exhibit, which will be a Carfax report of a 2017 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sahara with VIN number last 4 digits 1763. And the next one, I guess 6, 4, 5, 6. 6 will be a Carfax report, or partial, it's the first few pages, of a 2017 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon with the last 4 digits of the VIN 2953. So people generally, I assume you don't have your VIN number memorized.
No, I don't, sir.
Okay.
But I do believe they both have Sierra package.
Okay.
So that the word Sierra might overlap in paperwork somewhere,
Okay.
if you see that. Do you want these back, or do I hold
No,
these?
hold on to all that.
He
I've
may
got some
have
questions.
Okay.
for you on it.
So to get on the same page, the white Jeep appears to be last 2 digits 63. Is that right?
Where is that?
So if you look at the Carfax report,
Okay.
it has the VIN number on it.
Yeah.
Does that adequately describe the white Jeep?
To the best of my ability.
At least the body style and,
Yeah, they're both the same body style. They're
Okay.
both upgraded Sierras. They're both 2017.
one of them has the word Rubicon on it.
Okay.
Which one's the Rubicon?
This one.
Okay, is that the gray Jeep?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does the Rubicon have 53 as the last 2 digits of the VIN?
I would. That's what it appears on here.
Okay. So the gray Jeep, we're gonna, at least if we're right, we can go out there and look at it, but should be last 2 digits 53. The white Jeep should be 63.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the other thing I gave you is the insurance statement that you gave to me.
Is that this?
Yes,
That shows my mom and them being added.
to the progressive policy?
Yeah, it shows my mom and my dad added to on the 16th. It appears that on the 16th of April, my mom and my father were added to the Jeep, and that is the white one, 6'3".
Okay, so
On April 16th, it appears that my mother and father were added to the policy.
okay.
That has the white Jeep on it.
Right.
That's what I appear.
Was the gray Jeep 53 added to your policy?
No, we took it off the commercial because I have a bad driving record, as you know, and it upped the commercial policy extensively. So I got a personal policy on the gray one, not tied to all the commercial vehicles in the business.
Okay. Obviously, there's something different from session 1, and it's totally appropriate. He's a party, he's allowed to be here. But when people are in the room, sometimes we look at them or try to get
Yep.
head nods to confirm. We
Yep.
can't do that in a deposition.
Yep.
So, I mean, you can certainly look at them and look at whoever you want, but try not to rely. We got to go on what you know or what you remember.
I got a couple tickets in the Ferrari, and I know that was driving up business insurance.
Okay.
So
where was the last 2 VIN number 53, the gray Jeep, insured?
I believe Progressive.
Okay. Through a different policy?
Yes.
And do you know when that got insured?
Same day as this, maybe the day before.
Okay. Did you produce that to me? I don't think so.
I don't know that we ever had a question on it because my understanding, the allegation and the complaint was all related to the white Jeep.
Fair, I get it.
You're talking about other insurance disclosures?
Yeah.
There's a privilege law, I think, that included all those.
Okay.
And then the request to produce response, there's a privilege law that references some of the policies, including the progressive, one for progressive.
Okay.
So that may be it.
It may
Okay.
be. We may have it then.
I don't think I ever looked at this white one, looking back at it, but I remember looking up the gray insurance just to, to verify, because I thought, I knew I had the gray Jeep then, When I looked back, I knew it was close, and so I didn't remember looking this up, but I remember, I might even have it in the car.
Yeah. Okay, true. And we'll handle all that after the fact. Both 5.3, the gray Jeep, and 6.3, the white Jeep, have always been owned since you bought them by you and Parker contracting.
No, sir.
Okay.
The gray Jeep is just me,
Okay.
and it doesn't have to do with the business.
Okay. And now, even though the white Jeep is still in Eric Deady, is it Deady?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Eric Deady, and Parker is driven by your mom. She treats it as her own.
And a work vehicle.
As a work vehicle, okay. And I guess that's compensated by Parker as a benefit of her employment.
Sure.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fair.
Say that.
How familiar are you with the Peters Point area where this is alleged to have happened?
Very familiar.
Okay.
Well, I don't know exactly where it happened. I'm familiar with Peters Point.
It happened at or close to the area where you enter and leave to be able to drive on the beach at Peters Point, is my understanding.
Yes, sir.
Have you used that entrance exit before?
Absolutely.
Okay. I grew up in South Alabama where there's no beach driving. I live in Jacksonville where there's a patch, but generally no beach driving. So I didn't really understand that was a thing until some women got run over. I also didn't understand it was a huge political issue, really until this incident. I guess my question is, how long have you, there's gonna be a series of questions after that introduction, but how long have you been beach driving?
Since I moved here,
Okay.
up in Michigan, where we're from, I don't believe there's any beach driving, so it's a privilege here.
What are the rules?
I don't know what the rules are.
Okay.
I just know where you're not supposed to drive. I think there's some signs on the dunes.
You've gotten ticketed for driving on the
I've gotten ticketed when I first moved here for driving where I'm not supposed to.
Okay.
I haven't done it since, I don't think. Well, I don't know what.
There's an Instagram video of you driving into the water.
The tide up, and there's some tide pools. Yes,
Okay.
I'm familiar.
And you're filming it as you're driving. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if you're supposed to drive on the ocean side?
What do you mean the ocean side?
Like are you supposed to drive in the ocean?
I don't know if I was technically in the ocean. I think it was, where the water comes up, it was pretty shallow, and there's some tide pools. I don't know if it's legal to drive in those or not.
Okay.
I saw on the news, when I was looking up I saw the news camera guy driving his Jeep right in the water with his camera in his hand, filming while doing an interview looking for the person on the beach.
Good grief.
I saw that when I looked your name up on YouTube.
News people. So there was another, and this is probably my least relevant question of the day. There was another photo or video about I guess, either the Lamborghini or the Ferrari that you drove it on the beach. Do you drive it on the beach?
Never, sir. I don't think it can. It wouldn't. I don't think so, sir.
Was that
I think
a-
the headlight was $9,000 when someone nicked it.
Yeah. Obviously, I can't attach a video to a deposition without some level of difficulty, but I'm bad with numbers too. 7?
Yeah, we're at
Plaintiff 7?
Are you done with 4, 5, and 6?
Yeah, I'm done with those.
And this.
Yeah, that's 4. I'll take that.
Can I say something kind of funny about that video I was talking about with the news guy? He actually interviewed 2 of my employees on the beach. 2 of my bartenders are like the girls in that interview. And then he did. So I don't know, is that illegal? You would probably be
No,
an
he can
expert in
interview.
that.
He can interview whoever.
No, I mean driving on,
I mean, you can launch jet skis from the beach. So,
I've seen a lot of trucks get stuck in the water. That's a mistake, but I don't know, is that illegal?
I mean,
Here you go.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you remember the video I'm talking about? Those are just screen grabs from,
Yes, sir.
from it. It says like punish the Jeep.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
I was just salt water, ruins, you know?
Yeah.
I probably didn't get it washed after that. I should have.
Yeah.
Drove it through the car wash.
Do you know whether that was at Peters Point?
No, it was on American Beach.
Okay. Fair. And I'm not going to attach this, but
Do you want this one?
yeah, that one's attached.
Are we done?
Yeah, I think so. We might come back to it.
The Ferrari one, that's Ocean Avenue.
Okay, that's at Ocean
On the
Avenue.
north end of Main Beach.
2017 is what it
Yes.
says. Did you go on the beach with it?
Oh, I can't drive it. That's a dirt road. I could.
Yeah, I
Maybe drove it down there once or twice.
It was more curiosity about asking because
That's,
you
right.
look in line for it.
That's actually probably right in front of the Page, their little beach cottage on Ocean Avenue, right in front of the, about a block from my house.
Okay.
That was a good song too. Under the Water, I think is what I was playing during that.
I think this is a bunch about nothing, and I'm not even going to attach it unless your attorney wants me to. But this is a picture from Google of Sadler Ranch. Somebody sent me with a white Jeep that looks nothing like your Jeep. I just want to confirm that's not and was not your Jeep.
No, sir.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It's not even really in front of Sadler.
I'm not familiar with that Jeep.
Okay, fair enough. Might as well attach it. Might as well just keep it going.
So that's 8.
8. 9 appears to be your Jeep. It's from your social media, but I just
Yep,
want you
that's
to
one. That's my house. That's my Jeep.
confirm or deny that's your Jeep.
That's my Jeep. Confirm.
10. What's in 10?
Oh, that's the gray Jeep. I definitely had the gray Jeep then.
And what else is it? Does 10 also
In fact,
depict the white Jeep?
I'm just trying to think. Because my mom, let her, stay at that house. I definitely owned the gray Jeep at this point. And, I just remember when I bought it I remember there being the weekend that I didn't have it registered. It was still still had Kip's plate on it. I didn't even really drive it that weekend too much. I was driving my Ferrari. This may be, if there was a date attached to this, I bet it would be about maybe 10 days before your incident that you're
Okay.
looking for, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Because I remember parking it in her driveway for the weekend, being like, oh, well, I want to drive it. I drove it a couple times.
How long did you say your mom stayed with you or lived with you at a point?
No, I went to Vegas, and when I came back, which was in March, she moved into that house, and I moved into the duplex, which I've also we bought from Kip Usher.
Okay. Is Kip in the bar industry?
He claims to be, he could be the Highlander. He says he runs the bar industry in New York, but he begs for free drinks at my bar. I don't understand that. I get my managers call
Wait till you
me.
read this whole transcript.
I get my managers call me all the time saying, Kip saying you said he is drinks for free, and it's funny.
11.
There can be only one.
11.
Right.
Another identification photo. What's in 11?
That's where my mom parks at work.
Okay.
That's where her office and Dylan's office. I'm in and out of there every once in a while. I don't really work there too much.
So you don't work much at Parker?
No, sir.
Okay.
Not directly. It's a relative question.
Right. Not on
I wish
premises.
Dylan needed me to do something, but he won't. Won't ask for help.
I'm sure he could give you stuff to do. Where did Billy? Those videos from last night? You don't know if I downloaded them. You wouldn't know.
No, it was access.
I'll come back to that. Carfax. We've already talked about that enough. So we're talking about, things people have said about you. That was a big part of session 1. But the consensus in the reports, we got anonymous and not anonymous.
I understand.
Friends, non-friends.
I didn't even hear anything about it till I got served, and then I asked Rob Ross, and he was like, "Yeah, you're on." He was like, "You didn't know?" And I was like, "No."
Okay.
And then I looked up your YouTube videos, and that's really where. So I don't really know anything other than what you know.
You've to clarify, have you ever seen me publicly, other than in the lawsuit, name you or say you did this?
No, it just seemed like a lot of our mutual, like 50 people I know, say that you talked to them.
Right.
Or your private investigator that you hired did.
Right, which is what I want to get into with his videos. But this is the kind of, let me summarize your explanation. The contention that your Jeep disappeared after this or changed, your contention or your truth is that you had bought the gray Jeep before this.
Yes, sir.
And it was a financial arrangement that was beneficial to all, and it had nothing to do with you trying to hide the white Jeep.
Exactly.
Okay? And you were driving your Ferrari more, and the white Jeep less. Again, same deal.
I probably didn't drive the Ferrari very much after I bought the Jeep.
Okay, fair.
Because the Jeep is actually a smoother ride. The Ferrari's, it's not very good on gas, and
You shaved your head, changed your look. That was about the bet or so that you had with your
Yes.
brother.
I didn't try and change my appearance. I don't hide. I'm pretty easy to find.
I believe that. Do you know of any videos? We talked about the surveillance video issues.
Yes, sir.
But do you have a Ring doorbell at your house?
No, sir.
Okay.
But we did have cameras on pretty much every property.
Okay.
I believe. I think the bar went back like 20 days. I can't remember. We had a specialist at Parker try and pull them up. I think they even went and talked to the bank people. The house, Jasmine, that went back maybe 30 days. It was a timing, by
Right.
the time I got we weren't able to recover any. I wish we did.
Okay,
I
fair
probably would
enough.
have cleared it. Probably wouldn't be here right now.
Probably not. Let me find the rest of my outline. And just to run through some of this, are you aware, obviously since you've been named in a lawsuit, are you aware of, has anybody told you, man, I know you didn't do this because so-and-so did this, or we think so-and-so did this? Has
No,
anybody
sir.
told you
I would have
anybody else?
I would have came to you with that information.
Okay.
You know, to be honest with you, I guess I shouldn't. I didn't.
Well, don't discuss anything that you've spoken with me about, or
Yeah.
anyone from my office about,
sure.
or anyone
Okay.
from the insurance
Yeah.
company about. If you have a response to the question that he asked, that the information comes apart from any discussions we've had, please do tell Mr. Phillips.
I'm just not familiar with the
Okay.
incident too much. I didn't.
Okay.
Surprised I didn't hear about it sooner. I guess even in a small town.
And you haven't had any repair work or any undercarriage work done to the white Jeep
No, sir.
in the year after this?
I know the white Jeep was vandalized, along with like 10 cars in the neighborhood. I don't think anything was stolen. I think the center console was busted.
When was that?
I don't recall. There's a police report.
Okay.
The police came to the house and said 10 cars got robbed last night or something in here.
2019, 2020?
But I don't think there was anything but maybe some interior damage.
Okay. Do you know if it's 2019 or 2020?
I don't recall.
Okay.
There's a police report.
Do you have that police
There was-
report number?
I do not. I just know that Davis was going to warranty some of the work or something through the insurance, but I think my mom was holding off on it till this went through.
Was the white, where did this happen?
At 1035 in the Isle of Palms,
So at your house?
at my house where she
Okay.
was living. I think it was months after. I think it was after I was even summoned, or maybe before. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
So I thought I asked you if your mom lived with you or had lived with you.
She didn't live with me. I moved out. She moved into that
Okay.
house. I still own that house.
Okay.
Dylan and I bought a house together as an investment property, and I had been staying there.
Okay.
But there was no work done to the white Jeep, if that was the question, if I recall. Needs a little. Tell us when we can get it done.
Sensitive question.
Yes, sir.
Were you hospitalized for a drug issue in the last, since this happened?
I didn't sleep for a couple days. Sleep was my real issue, and I did some self-treatment. I was released early, and they told me to take some anxiety medicine and some sleeping pills, which I did for, a couple months, and now I'm on melatonin.
Okay. It's good stuff.
I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and I'm all good.
In April of 2019, how frequently would you become intoxicated on any substance, whether it's pills or nitrous or whippets or whatever, cocaine?
I don't recall.
Okay. Never done nitrous, never done whippets. I've gotten drunk and I've smoked some pot in my life. Just said that on the record. And so I know about blackouts from those two substances, or not weed, but alcohol. What effect does nitrous or whippets have?
I guess it depends on how you use it.
Okay. Does it cause blackouts? Can it cause blackouts?
I believe so.
Okay.
If you cut off the oxygen.
Okay.
You would probably fall asleep right on the spot.
What do you mean?
If you overuse it, you would probably fall asleep on the
Okay,
spot,
makes you
and
drowsy.
then you'd wake up sober
Okay.
once you breathe.
I assume in the meantime, there's some sort of high or euphoria.
Yeah,
Okay.
the pain relief.
Okay. Fair. Billy, do you have anything? I'm not quite done, but I need a couple minutes to find some stuff. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Just so we're not waiting on me, if we could take about a 5-10 minute break, I can get us out of here by noon.
Awesome.
That's not even a late lunch.
Go off the record, 11:35. We're back on the record, 11:41.
Where do you live now?
I live at 777 South Fletcher.
Is that on the water?
No, sir. I wish it was.
You know we had you followed. We talked
I
about
know about it.
to-
Trying to scare it. I
trying
know
to-
it is. I can feel it.
the shingles. Where is this place?
That appears to be Tom Roberts' house.
Okay. Who's Tom Roberts?
Tom Roberts is a good friend of mine. He's just a businessman. He's got a couple houses here. I think he's got one up in North Carolina. He's getting built.
Okay.
But he's just a really good friend. And we built the house.
Yeah, there's a better picture.
That's his guest house. I stayed there for a little bit.
That.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Is it a duplex or is it a house?
It's a single house.
Okay.
His wife's birthday present.
Don't hit us.
Why don't we hold off for a second?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go off the record, 11:43. We're back on the record, 11:43.
The investigator's name's Tom Very, and while he was following you, and I can get you the dates, but he saw you driving the white Jeep. Why would you have been driving your mother's Jeep?
I don't recall. He probably knows.
Okay.
Or followed me. Maybe mine was in getting an oil change.
Okay.
I don't even think I would have drove it then.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
So my client visited my office and then went to a surgical appointment. And there was as she described it, blackish Ferrari that followed her from essentially my office to her doctor's appointment. I've just got to ask the question, was that you?
No, sir.
Do you know if...
Was it? I wouldn't recognize your client if she was it.
Fair.
Or what vehicle she drives, or where she lives. I maybe thought Georgia. No, it wasn't me. I
Okay.
didn't follow her. I don't have the Ferrari anymore either.
Okay.
I sold it. I bought it from Tom Roberts, the guy whose picture you just showed me, and I also sold it back to him.
Okay. have you, got to ask the question.
Yep.
Have you ever followed my client, done investigative work on Amanda Gonzalez?
Only your YouTube
Wait,
videos.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, don't talk about anything that we may have done for you, but
No.
you answered the question appropriately.
Okay.
Honestly, I think her face is blurred out in videos as well. I wouldn't even recognize her.
I think there's some of both. I think originally she was definitely blurred out.
I think I got a message from, I remember getting a message from a Gonzalez, as a male Gonzalez, said something threatening, or said something weird on, and I've connected those. I think maybe they reached out to me on social media once or something, but I didn't respond.
Can you provide that to her attorney?
Yeah.
Okay. I've asked you a lot of questions. Is there anything that not that you've learned from your attorneys, but that you know that could help us figure out who did this if it wasn't you?
Maybe look for Jeeps that fit the original description from her 911 call.
Right.
Mine wasn't it.
But you've never told anybody you did this?
No, sir.
You never asked anybody to hide your Jeep?
No, sir.
No, meaning that's correct.
Correct. Nobody's hidden the Jeep.
If I were to ask you to backtrack, and you may already have done it, exactly where you were.
I've tried to do it a bunch of times. I don't recall because it happened so, it was hard to find. I think it was a Wednesday or something. We didn't even start looking back until 6 months after, and that's a hard thing to record. I wish, I should keep a daily journal of what I do. It's hard to measure.
Well, cell phones will often keep a daily journal for you.
Yeah.
So if you have do you know what model iPhone you were using at that time?
No, sir. I don't know what one I'm using now.
Okay. Do you think you might have it still?
If I did, I think it was maybe turned in at that time. I've probably given it to him if we.
Okay.
I don't believe we have any phones,
Okay.
but we can look for it.
Okay. "12 minutes. Leland Kent. All right, there we go. So I did find it. 12, Plaintiff's Exhibit 12. So the message I got from Leland Kent was, for what it's worth, there's a rumor going around Fernandina that Eric Deady cut his hair off that he had been growing out for years to try to alter his appearance after he ran over your victim. He cut off his ponytail himself at home. Also, it is rumored that his girlfriend was with him or possibly the one driving. She also has long light brown hair like Eric. Her name is Olivia McKay Lohman. You really need to talk to her. I don't want to be involved, but I want to pass along what I heard."
She's got red hair.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah, I like redheads.
Okay.
Was there a question though? I'm sorry.
I'm going to show it to you and then. I mean, we've already discussed that messaging.
Yeah.
Do you know, I mean, why would he, and there's an indication in there that he doesn't want you to know that he's talking to me. Well, I got to produce it.
That's fine.
Do you know why he would be intimidated, afraid, or not want you to know that he's talking to me?
Let's say the same answer as
Objection, but go ahead.
the same answer as before.
Okay.
You know, I think that this is when my girlfriend told him that I had hooked up with his wife.
Okay. There's
But none of this is accurate, even the color of the hair.
Okay.
I mean, of course, she's red as red gets. In fact, I think they owe me money.
Leland Kent.
Yeah.
Do you know what Leland Kent owes you money for?
Yeah, we bailed them out of jail after they got arrested from the Ritz-Carlton.
How long ago was that?
I don't recall.
Interesting way to repay a debt.
Yeah, I know. They were on bail then. They borrowed money from me to get bailed out and then went on a vacation to the Keys when they weren't supposed to leave.
Fernandina is a complicated place, it seems, Nassau County. What was I going to ask? Do you know of, what's Dave's last name?
David Patrick Raines?
Raines, yeah. Do you know whether Dave Patrick Raines has ever had your white Jeep in his garage?
I would say, I think I would 99.9% say no
Okay.
to that.
Why the .1 reservation?
Because, you know, he's friends with my mom, so it could have been after the fact, more recently. I don't think it could fit in his, I don't think any car can fit in his garage. I don't think any car really could. The last car I saw in his garage was that gray one that's now in the yard, and it was full of tools and tools on the roof of it. So I would say 100% no.
I asked this question, and I've done enough research that I think I know the answer. You have not been convicted of a felony, correct?
No, sir.
And you've
No,
not.
hold on. The answer, is he correct in the statement that he made?
Yeah. Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No, sir.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime that involves the legal jargon is moral turpitude? The real thing is theft or dishonesty.
No, sir.
Okay. There's one more thing I kind of want to ask about. Otherwise, I'm going to regret that I didn't. And it's and you were cleared of the charges. So I'm not approaching it from the standpoint of a crime, but there were a lot of drugs found in the white Jeep around within a year or so of 6 months of this incident in a pullover. Is that fair?
It's a fair question. I'll plead the fifth.
Okay. I'm trying to find that report, see if there's anything I want to ask about it. And I guess, let me ask it this way. Would you be consistently pleading the fifth if I asked detailed questions about that arrest and that incident?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fair. is there a reason? It's kind of a weird question, but is there a reason people would be intimidated by you?
I think I'm pretty good
Hold on,
looking.
hold on. Objection.
Fair.
Calls for speculation. You can answer the question to the extent you have.
I think I'm good looking.
Okay.
I didn't know people were intimidated by me that much. Either, also, as a statement. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
August 24, 2018, so 6 months or so. Oh, it's the 24th, so yeah, 8 months between the pullover incident and this.
Question.
Yeah, fair, but I was clarifying. Who is Mr. Church?
Lorenzo,
Who is Lorenzo Church?
he is one of my old employees. He moved to Jacksonville. He's got a real sick mom. I think he just lost his dad recently, and he takes care of her.
Would he have any information about?
He was with me when we were driving on the beach in the video that was at American Beach.
Okay. Do you know if he'd have any information about what you were doing April 24 of 2019?
I don't recall.
Do you know who you were with April 24th of 2019?
I don't recall.
Do you keep any logs or timesheets on weekdays of where you are, what you do for any of your employment?
No, sir.
On April 24, 2019, were you addicted to any drug or alcohol?
No.
Do you know on April 24, 2019, whether you were impaired by any drug or alcohol?
Is that the date of the incident? Is it 2019?
April 24, 2019.
No.
Yes.
I have no addictions other than cigarettes and maybe sex a little.
Okay. But do you know whether you were impaired, not addicted, but impaired
I
by
don't
anything?
recall.
Okay. And I would assume there'd be no register of that. If I were trying to determine, you've indicated you don't recall whether you did particularly whippets or nitrous on April 24, 2019. That's probably not something I can pull a target receipt for. How would we determine if you bought or consumed whippets or nitrous on April 24, 2019?
I'm not sure.
Okay. How were those acquired?
There's multiple different ways. I mean, pretty much any smoke shop, some
Okay.
gas stations. And I'm almost quit smoking cigarettes too. Just I'm on the all naturals. I don't smoke very much anymore.
$12 o'clock is here. Let me just ask Billy a question and then
Okay.
probably be adjourned.
We'll go off the record 12 o'clock. Back on the record 12:01.
After your mom acquired the Jeep, after she got the white Jeep, you had the gray Jeep. On how many occasions have you used the white Jeep since then?
I guess I haven't counted. very rarely. Last time I used it was to launch a boat. That was actually just a couple days ago because the trailer hitch wouldn't fit between my spare tire, and the spare tire on the back of my Jeep is too big.
Okay.
So I used hers, and I towed a boat from the Parker building to the marina, and then my dad picked it up from there and brought it back to the shop.
Okay.
Do you want to guess on that though? I'd say less than 10 times.
Okay. Since 10 days before this incident?
Since I bought the gray one.
Okay. Do you have the title to, help me understand the gray one.
ViStar should have the title. I
Okay.
think they've got a lien on it. I don't have a clean title on the gray one. And the white one, whatever bank, Davis, I think I financed that through the dealership. So I don't have a clean title for either of the Jeeps.
Okay. Kip Usher sold it to you, you made some payments to him, you ultimately,
I paid it down. I think I bought it for $47. I paid it down to like I gave him $500 down. I gave him like a $5,000 to get it down to where it was easy to finance. I think I financed maybe $39,000.
okay, and then paid him from the proceeds of the loan.
Yes, sir.
Is there a contract that you had with him?
No, sir. Handshake.
Okay. Do you know when he would have made you registered owner for the Jeep?
I did it immediately. I think I did it, like I said, I think I maybe drove it home on a Thursday night. Friday we got insurance on it, and then I think I registered it on the following Monday because we were waiting to get the insurance and the fact that we could save a bunch of money if I wasn't on the corporate insurance with it.
What about Dave Rain's garage would make it not fit a Jeep?
The gray one wouldn't fit in the Jeep or in that garage. It's too tall, I believe. I don't know.
Okay. But I didn't know if he had a workshop in there. You've been in there, I haven't.
You can't walk in there.
Okay.
I wouldn't without making sure you got tetanus shots and stuff. It's bad.
Okay. Do you know whether you drove on the beach at all, for certain, on April 24, 2019?
No, sir, I don't recall. I don't think I did.
Okay. Do you know whether your I'm gonna call her Mac to be consistent, Olivia McKay, what's her last name?
A Loman.
Loman. Do you know whether she drove on the beach?
I
on
know
April
she did
24,
not.
2019? Okay. Why?
I know I did not as well.
How do you know that?
Because Peters Point Shrimp Fest is busy. I would have went to American Beach if I did.
Okay.
And I would have been in the gray Jeep, the new one, if I did.
Okay.
My mom was at work probably till 6, and she don't drive on the beach, not that I've ever seen.
Okay. Any other questions, Billy? Read away.
I
Okay.
have a couple because I want to clarify a couple of issues.
sure.
So, Mr. Deady, going to one of the exhibits that was produced today, it's the Carfax for the gray Jeep, Exhibit 6. Yeah. You were shown that by counsel earlier, right?
Yes, sir.
That's not a document that you created.
No, but I'd maybe like a copy if I want to sell it.
Yeah, we'll get a copy. That also doesn't have any document stamps at the bottom showing Bates numbers that it was something that was produced by our office, right? Take a look at the bottom right
No,
corner.
sir.
On the, I think it's the second or third page, there's some documentation there that talks about registering title to the vehicle. It's like a history of title registrations. Do you see that? Third page, maybe.
Vehicle purchase report, yes.
And what's the date there?
4/15.
Okay, so there's a reported date of 4/15, and then there's a date of registration as well?
4/16.
And 4/16, and that's in 2019?
Yes, sir.
And in any given calendar year, does April 16 come before April 24?
No, sir.
April 16 comes after April 24?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's a stupid question.
Right. So in any event, the documentation that council produced to you here today regarding the registration and purchase of the vehicle identifies that the Florida Department of Highway Safety Motor Vehicle has a registration record showing that gray Jeep Rubicon was purchased about 8 days prior to this incident that unfortunately happened to Ms. Gonzalez on April 24, 2019.
Yes, sir.
Fair to say that you don't have the ability to see the future?
Yes, fair.
Right? You're not a mentalist. You can't see
Right.
into the future. So if you registered and purchased that gray Jeep Rubicon on April 16, 2019, would it be a fair presumption for anyone to draw that you didn't do so with the idea that you were then going to somehow use that Jeep as an alibi Jeep for some incident that you were allegedly involved in the white Jeep?
I like what you're saying. I agree.
Okay, I don't have any other questions.
Do you know how the Department of Motor Vehicles, or I think in Florida it's the Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, calculates what date they put on a vehicle registration?
I don't think they put a date. I probably pretty the exact date just in case of any liabilities.
The date that's on the title?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, that's all I have.
Well, okay, then one follow-up question to that. If you had a registration that shows a registration date of issue from the Department of Highway Safety Motor Vehicles, wouldn't that tell you when the Department of Highway Safety Motor Vehicles date stamped a document?
Yes,
Okay.
Do you have that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Could you provide that to us?
I think we did. And if we didn't, then yeah, I can.
Okay, that's all we have.
And he will read for
Okay.
purposes of accuracy.
Fair.
We're gonna go off the record at 12:10.